Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed, yes, to another edition of the Mark Moses Show podcast. As always, broadcasting here in Central Florida from the Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Take back control of your life. Call them today here in the new year, 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's Anidjar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. And joining me right now, this guy does a great job with Brevard Sports Network. And I think maybe it's year 11 or 12 we've been doing this. Alan Zlotorzynski, BSN, buddy. How you doing?
Good, buddy. Good. Glad to be back for another Tuesday. Can't believe another NFL season is over. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's start here. And there's a lot going on. But I want to start there. You guys just wrapped up your end of season awards here in Brevard County. You ended out Coach of the Year, Player of the Year. So if you can just go, the Cliff Notes version, what were some of the big winners that you announced earlier, last week?
Our Coach of the Year went to Chris Sands from O'Galley. When we looked at the body of work of O'Galley this year, we really felt like that Sands, and especially when you lose your quarterback in the first quarter of the first game, and everything that you thought you had in front of you changes, and what they did and how they did it, undefeated against the county. They've now won 20 straight against Brevard. So Chris Sands picks up our Coach of the Year. Our Offensive Player of the Year was Kevin Verpale,
nice.
of the quarterback for Merritt Island. Just a junior. Can't wait to see what Kevin does as a senior. Our Defensive Player of the Year was O'Keefe's Battle from the Cocoa Tigers, a hybrid safety he's a big hitter, causes turnovers, had over 100 tackles this year. O'Keefe really had a nice season. Our Most Valuable Player Award, which is different than our overall player, our Most Valuable Player really is an MVP. It's not like baseball where it's the best player, although this young man could have been the best player in the county this year. It was Noah Flores out of MCC. Noah had 4 interceptions on defense, returned 4 kickoffs for touchdowns, played quarterback, wide receiver, running back. Whatever Noah was asked to do, he did it, and he did it well for MCC this season. And our overall player of the year this year, Mark, was it was a unanimous vote. It wasn't even close. It took all of about 30 seconds, and that was Xavier Larice of O'Galley.
Yeah, it's not that shocking because we were hyping him, I think, preseason, midway through, start of the playoffs. And look, we saw his final home game, the win against Merritt Island in the postseason. I was there right with you with Anthony Knockreiner. Dude, game changer. He won games by himself. I know it's a team effort, but there are 1 or 2 explosive plays a game for the O'Galley Commodores. And it was that guy right there who got it done. So I got no problem with your vote there, buddy.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, listen, you can go back to you and I sat here for 30 minutes one Tuesday laughing because we were like, why would you kick the football to him? He did, and he returned it for a touchdown, and they end up winning the game. So, I mean, Xavier Larice was probably, as I go back and look at my 13 years here covering sports in Brevard County, he's one of the best I've ever seen.
He is going to Oregon.
He's in Oregon.
Yeah, he's already there in Eugene. They're going to be playing Friday night against Indiana in a Big Ten rematch for a chance to go to the national title game. It's going to be a hell of a game. I saw those photos on Facebook. I think his dad posted them.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, this goes to a bigger issue. The calendar is so crazy with college football right now, where the playoff is still going on. You have kids that have early signing period who are already on campus, right? Still should be going back to high school. No, they're already on campus. That's nothing new. And then we have the transfer portal going on right now. And I'll go over that in a second with the Gators signing people. But like, what? There's a part of me as a football fan, all this should be in February. You should not have a playoff still going on and then all this craziness going on. What are your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, listen, I don't think you need, I mean, I think it's okay. I think this all needs to take place now from the end of the college football, the day after the national championship game open it up. Okay.
That's what you're going with.
Yeah. Well, and I also mean that for coaches too. Okay. I think it's okay for coaches. I think they could do it a little bit like the NFL, maybe opening up a pre-tampering period. Okay. If a coach wants to do this, he can negotiate with his team. And then once his team is done, then he can do what he wants to do. But I think as far as making everything official, Mark, I think you start it the day after the national championship game. I think you run it for 2 months, February, March, April. You get your teams together. You go through spring practice. I think you do away with the spring games. I don't think you need the spring games anymore. A lot of programs don't even play them anymore. And then, listen, this is the AAA to the NFL now. I mean, that is what this has become. If you look on social media, you're not seeing this player commits, that player commits. It is this player has signed with this university. And they don't mean sign letters of intent, Mark. No. They mean sign contracts.
Yeah, imagine, all right, you're the coach at Oregon. This is any coach that's still alive. The 4 that are still playing for a national title. So Dan Lanning's there at Oregon. So think about it. You're trying to talk to recruits, current recruits, future recruits. You're talking to them. Then you're also talking during this transfer portal. You're talking, you and your coaching staff, you're trying to talk to these current college football players to then go to Eugene. Then also you're going to go try beat Indiana, who's the best team in football right now. How are you doing all this at once? I don't get it.
Yeah, see, the problem is that you can do all of this. You can make all of these changes, right? But there's no governance of any of this. So if you can't govern this, then what the hell are we doing?
It's the funniest thing I saw. So I think they had the Under Armour game, one of them, over the weekend.
They took that out of Camping World Stadium and moved it to Spec. I didn't even know they were playing it.
Yeah, I know. And I know you love going to that game. Yeah. So it's very weird. So it's funny. There's a 4-star wide receiver from West Florida who committed to UCF. It's a big get. It really is for UCF football. They need more players like that. What's so funny is, because you're so used to this in the Under Armour game, they make the announcement, and it's, I'm going to spend my next 4 years. So you heard the kid go, I'm going to spend the next 4 years at UCF. And everyone just starts laughing. No, you're not. No. None of these. Give me 1 or 2 years, and that's a victory for a college football coach. You're not going there for 4 years.
Well, what was it? They were talking about one of the quarterbacks in the college football playoff game last week. 16. He's on a 16, Mark.
16, buddy. That's right. I heard ESPN radio this morning where they were breaking down the transfer portal. And one of the questions that was asked was, hey, the teams that are left in the playoff, did anyone jump ship? No. I think it's the only schools why would you? You're competing for a national. See, what's the point of this sport? Is it to go compete for championships, or is there one thing, go get that money? That's my question.
Or is it to get an education?
There's no one's going to class. Just forget it. This is you hit it on the head. This is AAA football to the NFL. That's what it is. Yeah. There was a stat I saw, Alan. Transfer portal. You want to get a quarterback? Average is $3 million or more. $3 million. Texas Tech signed a quarterback, $5 million to go to Lubbock. $5 million.
You want to get a good one? That's about the $5 to about $8 million a year is where you're going to be.
Yeah. So the update at this hour, I just put this on Facebook. So the Gators, they signed Georgia Tech quarterback Aaron Philo to be their starter, right? He was the backup this previous year for Georgia Tech. And yeah, the Gators, they got the OC from Georgia Tech. So he's just going to bring all of his players. He's just, let's go to Gainesville. And the big one, because, and I want your thoughts on this. So there's a rumor now that DJ Lagway might be going to Florida State. He literally, after beating them twice, he might be the new quarterback, maybe in Tallahassee. So the Gators have some money to spend. So their superstar running back, Jaden Baugh, he's coming back to Gainesville. Trust me, it's not because of how great the science program is. They paid him money, buddy. They're giving Jaden Baugh a lot of money to come back to Florida.
I think Florida State just picked up I think they just got Quinn. I can't say his first name. Wisner from Texas, the running back from Texas. And they're pretty good get there too.
Yeah.
Okay, so they just got they just got the running back from Texas as well. Didn't they get the tight end? Or no, that was Oklahoma. They got Florida's tight end. I can't keep up.
I can't keep up either. I go, what about the championship game? Who cares? You got to make this money. That would be so funny if DJ Lagway, I know he's visiting Florida State. He did that. I think he's going to visit Virginia as well, who should have won the ACC. Dude, could you imagine? So Lagway beats Florida State 2 years in a row. Then can you imagine he leaves and plays for Florida State? What? It's funny, if you're a Gator fan, you'd go ahead. Have fun. Go for it.
So the Gators have lost Lagway, Wilson, Castell. The one I'm talking about is Hayden Hansen, the tight end.
So you lose him.
He's gone. Listen, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, if you're watching this take place, I mean, I would love to be able to sit here and say, Mark, this guy's going to be able to do this for this team. And this, dude, I can barely keep up with NFL free agency. How the hell are you going to keep up with this?
It kind of shows, Alan, high school recruiting is just whatever. Just, get a recruiting class, see what you got, and then that transfer portal. So you're going to other schools to develop. And it's kind of like in baseball where, like the Rays and the Oakland A's for years would develop talent, and then the Yankees would trade for them or sign them in free agency. That's what's happening now in this. All right. So that's the update. Let's talk actual football.
Yes.
I want your picks. Forget wild card. We'll get to that in a second. Who wins Thursday night? Ole Miss, who are not sure who's on the coaching staff still, or do you think the Miami Hurricanes get it done? Who's your pick?
I think the Miami Hurricanes are going to get this done, Mark. I don't see Chambliss running all over the Miami defense the way he did Georgia. Ruben Bain and Mesidor are two outstanding defensive football players. I mean, you got both of those. I mean, it would be enough to have Ruben Bain coming at you, but Mesidor as well. And then you look what the Canes have in the back end of that defense and the way Miami, what's unique about Miami's defense is that, and a lot of credit to Mario Cristobal, because he saw this last year. The thing the Canes could not do last year late in games was stop teams. They couldn't stop. I mean, teams could go down the field on them all day long late in games. Like, you can't do that to this Miami defense. They're violent in the back end. Their linebackers hit. They get a great pass rush. The Miami Hurricane defense is for real, Mark. Carson Beck, if he takes care of the football, and I'm sure he will, he's been very efficient. He was fantastic in the Canes win. I really like Miami to win this football game. I do.
I want Miami to win so I don't have to hear about Ole Miss or Lane Kiffin drama anymore. I want them to get knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that all of that has happened with Ole Miss because there's a lot to cheer for there too.
There is.
I mean, I really like their quarterback, Chambliss. I like this kid. I like his story. I love what he did to Georgia.
Yeah. He was Division II quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's where the transfer portal is actually kind of cool, like with this stuff.
Right.
Here's what's funny. So Miami can't win the ACC. And Duke won the conference with 5 losses because the tiebreaker got them to Charlotte, and they beat Virginia in overtime. So Miami loses. Okay, what they lose? Like a Friday night game to Louisville by a couple points at home, and then lose at SMU in overtime. Those are their 2 losses. There could have been a scenario here where they don't even go to the playoff, and Notre Dame would have gone instead of them. But they're in. They punched Texas A&M in the mouth there in College Station, winning 10-3. And, dude, you saw the game. They're up 14-0 at halftime. And every person on ESPN's thinking, well, Ohio State, they're going to turn it around. They're going to wake up. They got all these great wide receivers. No, they got shut down and lost 24-14.
Well, look, I mean, listen, what was it, a 17-14 game at one point?
Yeah.
But at no point, even when it was 17-14, I still didn't feel like Ohio State was close.
Dude, they got beat up by
Yeah, they
Miami.
did. They pushed around. They got bullied.
We talk about transfer portal and Texas Tech spending $5 million on a quarterback. I don't know if you know this, for people who don't live in Florida, Miami has very deep pockets. Now, I don't know where the money's coming from. That's up for another question.
You do.
But
Go ahead.
There are deep pockets there. If Cristobal can figure this out and at least get to the national title game, he can build a super contender. The pockets are deep there in Miami. This is a breakthrough for Miami football. They've been waiting 20 plus years for.
Here's the thing, Mark. If Miami can play for, because I don't think they're going to win the national championship. You know, Kurt Cignetti and with this Indiana team, I mean, they're good. They're very, very
and so's
good.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon's great.
Well, I listen, I love Indiana against Oregon. I just do.
Okay.
But it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward with Miami. I mean, you take a guy like a Malachi Tony, right? I mean, he's not going to be around.
He's a stud. He's
an unbelievable football player, Mark. I mean, they got guys. This feels like to me, half of this, 3/4 of this football team's gone in the next 2 years just because they're all turned pro.
I agree with you, and it'll be funny with Carson Beck. He leaves. Who's the next quarterback? And that's interesting. We're talking these transfer quarterbacks right now. Everyone's buying quarterbacks. What does Miami do? Who's their next guy after Beck leaves? That'll be interesting.
I mean, you got to give it to Mario Cristobal. That's the one thing he hasn't had a problem finding.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
no. Well, his last one was the first pick in the draft.
That's going to say he's not had an issue finding quarterbacks.
All right. So, do you have Miami winning this game?
I do, and then I have Indiana and Miami playing for the national championship. And although I believe Miami will give Cignetti and Indiana fits, I just think Indiana's too good this year.
I think Indiana destroying Alabama was shocking. Even though Bama was like, all right, they weren't the greatest Bama team. Dude, they didn't score a touchdown. They got hammered in that game.
What was shocking to me was watching Alabama go away from what worked early on in the football game. The blitzing, the putting the pressure. You know, you go after the Heisman Trophy winner. You're having success doing that. Then you just completely went away from it, and then they just carved them up.
It felt like the new Nick Saban is the coach of Indiana.
Yeah.
And the fraud is like, that's it.
I said that last night to Brian. You know, we were doing a basketball game talking about it at halftime. I said, Cignetti feels like the new Nick Saban to me.
This is not a Cinderella story.
No.
This is for real.
This guy's good.
They got interviewed on 60 Minutes. Maybe I told you this last week. So they're on 60 Minutes interviewing the president of the school, the athletic director, Cignetti. They spend $50 or $60 million on football. They said, we have deep pockets. We're gonna go all in on football now. And that's what happened.
Here's the thing. What, he's to sign that 8-year, $92 million extension, right? NFL teams, this guy, he's got a mind. We'll see. I'd love to see the Ravens make a go at a guy like Cignetti.
All right. If I'm just throwing out observations, I put this on Twitter. Fernando Mendoza is going to be the number one pick in the draft. I don't think there's any debate. Nope. He is going to the Raiders. The Raiders made the right decision. Get rid of Pete Carroll. Go get that kid a real coach. He reminds me, and I want your opinion on this because I know you love the NFL. He reminds me a little of Kirk Cousins as a quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, but maybe a better version of Kirk Cousins. That's the way. I know you can stew on this for a couple days if you want. I think he reminds me of Kirk Cousins, like a better version. And what I saw from Arch Manning in that bowl game which you got your box, by the way. I was very proud of you. The Cheez-It box. Arch Manning reminds me of a Trevor Lawrence type character. Those are my two observations from these quarterbacks. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I mean, he can cry like Kurt.
Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza. He can, he gives you that Cousins vibe, doesn't he? I mean,
He does. He's
even
very
when you're
corny.
talking to him,
He's corny.
right, exactly. So yeah, that's a great comparison.
He's got
I think
arm.
he plays like him. I can see that. Arch Manning to me is a little bit of Johnny Manziel and a little bit of Eli Manning.
What I saw from him was, I'm happy he's coming back. He needs another year of seasoning in college. It would have been a horrible mistake if he would have gone to the NFL right now. He needs another year, but you can see the potential when he's out there. It feels like he's a little slow with the progression where, he's not sure what he's going to do. But there were, in that bowl game against Michigan, you saw him.
Played well.
He played well. He's scrambling around. He's making throws. If you give him another year, a whole off season, he plays, he will be a top 10 pick next year in that 27 draft.
Yeah, there's no question. Listen, you've seen some of the top 10 picks over the last couple of years from the quarterback position. Arch Manning is definitely a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
he was NFL draft.
Oh, and by the way, the other quarterback, Underwood, he can't throw the ball. If I'm going to be, I told myself,
but you got to give. Listen, he's a freshman, right?
He's a Justin Fields type character at college. All right, he can make some throws. He's big, he's strong, he can scramble. But Texas in that game, by the third quarter, goes, wait a minute, he can't make all the throws. Let's eat him alive. And they did. Now, look, I give Michigan all the credit in the world. After everything they went through in December, the fact that they showed up and competed compared to Notre Dame and these other schools that said we're not going to play, I give credit to Michigan for being in this football game. But Texas was better. They just were. And they won.
No, and we knew this going in. We did. But like you said, I thought Michigan played well in this football. Texas pulled away at the end. Arch Manning with the big run, there up the middle, split the defenders, and he was gone. That was a nice play by him. Yeah, it was a good football game. I thought it was we had some decent non-college football playoff bowls this year.
Okay, I'm putting you on the spot. Who was the Coco quarterback that was going to go to Michigan and now is at A&M? What's his name?
Brady Hart.
Brady Hart. I would love to interview Brady Hart now to see his thoughts because he was supposed to go to Michigan. He probably wanted to go to Michigan. And then he was going to play for one coach. That coach is not there now. That's how crazy this is.
Yeah, I listen. I think, I'm not a highly religious man, but I think God put Brady Hart right where he belonged.
And I want to see him play. I want to see him.
He got a few snaps this year.
Good.
I think Brady's got a very bright future at Texas A&M.
Think if he would have went to Michigan. Well,
he probably would have been. He probably would have been playing in that bowl game.
Yeah, he probably would have.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're here. The Zlotorzynski's joining me on Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. You are taking Indiana and Miami. Is that right? And then,
yes, sir.
Doesn't it kind of feel like Indiana's got to finish this thing? They got to win the national title now.
Well, Let's get it going. Well, and they're pretty damn good.
Oh my God, dude. Again. Hammering people.
Yeah.
Hammering.
We talk about Fernandez and Cincinnati, but that defense is really good too.
Dude, in that Rose Bowl, and the whole country saw that, the first offensive possession by Alabama, they're like, well, we're going to do what we want. And you look at a defense, everyone was in position. They gave up nothing. Everyone could tackle. It was phenomenal to watch. Yeah. It really was.
It was. Listen, I enjoyed it, man. I'm not an Alabama hater. I'm not that guy, okay? I've always had, a lot of my buddies up in Baltimore, they get pissed with me when I tell them I don't hate Duke.
Yeah.
because I just have an immense amount of respect for guys like Mike Krzyzewski. I have an immense amount of respect for, Bill Belichick and, coaching, pure coaching, right? And so that's how I became a guy that just did not become an Alabama hater, Mark, because I always had a great deal of respect for Saban. So, yeah, I'm not a guy that will get pissed if Alabama wins. So, but I will say this: watching what Indiana did, man, it's just impressive.
They crushed them.
Yeah,
I saw like TV reports where they show these Indiana fans.
right.
They're 70 years old. I've been waiting my whole life to go to the Rose Bowl.
Literally.
Yeah, they hadn't won the Big Ten. Or no, what was it? They won the Big Ten in like 67, 68. The last time they went to the Rose Bowl, hadn't won the Rose Bowl since the 40s. So you had so many fans have waited their whole lives to just go see that. That must have been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and along the way, you're a basketball state, and you are dealt Bobby Knight. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, look, that's going to be Thursday's going to be great. Friday night's going to be a great game. And look, especially for the Big Ten, it's a big moment for the Big Ten because they're going to get a person in the national title game for 3 straight years for a chance to win 3 straight national championships.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. I don't care. Everyone can spend money now. So, hey, the SEC was doing it for years. Who are we kidding? Now the Big Ten, hey, we could spend money. We got money in our schools.
Totally
we
agree.
go get players.
Yep.
Right. All right. We went 26 minutes with not asking the question. Did you sleep any Sunday night after the missed field goal?
Listen, no, I wasn't upset. I mean, that was a microcosm of that team's entire season. Of course, we're talking about the Ravens. I mean, good offense, bad offense, great offense, blew another double-digit lead. I mean, everything the Ravens were this year was in that football game Sunday night. And I knew when Isaiah Likely caught that ball. I knew they weren't going to make that kick, Mark. You just knew it. I wildly celebrated the Likely catch because it was 4th and 7, and that's the play the Ravens have. I've told you for years the biggest problem the Ravens have in games like that is that their best players do not step up in the best times. Well, guess what? We saw that in the fourth quarter. Finally, on Sunday night, Lamar Jackson was exceptional. Zay Flowers was exceptional. Isaiah Likely was exceptional. Derrick Henry, when he needed to be, although the Steelers shut the rushing attack down in the second half. The Ravens' defense was trash, but it's been trash all season. But you just knew they weren't going to make that kick. And, I feel like had the Ravens made the playoffs, and just the Steeler fans can lament the same thing because they're not beating the Texans. It probably would have been more of a curse than a blessing to have reached the playoffs.
Your coaching staff makes no sense because all these decisions, like down the stretch. All right, the last couple of games. All right, we're not going to get the ball to our future Hall of Fame running back. All right, now we are going to get him the ball. All right, who's our quarterback? All right, what are we? And then even in this game, like you said, late in the game, then your offense shows up. You've waited months for that offense to show up. Now you're going to play. Now you're going to make plays.
Here's the even more confusing thing, and this is the thing that scares the hell out of me the most as a Ravens fan is, a lot of times what happens to guys, NFL owners in general in sports, is they become comfortable with complacency. You have owners like Robert Kraft who never become comfortable with complacency. The policies when they were in San Francisco, right? People want to know why certain franchises keep elevating themselves back to the top. Well, it's because of ownership, Mark. It's because ownership will only stand for so much losing. As I look at the 6 head coaching vacancies, as you and I sit here today, none of them have a purple bird next to it. And to me, that's a problem.
I agree.
Not only is there not a head coaching vacancy in Baltimore, but both coordinators are still there. There is no way on God's green football earth that the Ravens defensive coordinator, Zach Orr, has any business as an NFL defensive coordinator today.
All right, look at your window with Lamar Jackson. So what was it? 2 seasons ago,
he's 29 this week.
So you're in the AFC Championship game. It's the worst game. You had that right there against Kansas City. You lose the game. A game you should have won.
We give up no points in the second half.
You would have won the Super Bowl with that team.
Absolutely.
I know in your heart you would have won. Yeah. So what do you do? All right, let's go get Derrick Henry. We got to be better. And then last year you lose at Buffalo, right? Your tight end dropped the ball, right? This is all misery. You know this. And then this year you don't even go to the playoffs. So you're getting worse with this current regime. That's the problem.
I think you have to ask yourself, and Bisciotti, this is why Brian Billick was fired. Bisciotti asked himself a question: can you foresee Brian Billick taking the Ravens back to the Super Bowl? And the answer Bisciotti came up with was no. I can't foresee John Harbaugh taking this team back to a Super Bowl. I still don't think it was John Harbaugh that took them in 2012. I thought that was Ray Lewis and Ed Reed that did that for that team. Joe Flacco. But this is a franchise very much sitting on the cusp of complacency. And it's going to be an interesting offseason. And based on what I'm hearing and based on what I'm seeing, the Ravens may be a mediocre football team for years to come, wasting one of the most generational talented quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Go ask the Dolphins with Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Go ahead. 2 decades of that, where they were fine with just going to the wild card round. That's what they had with that team. All right, so if I go to your picks, I think you're going to take the Texans, right, personally, to destroy the Steelers.
I would rather see the AFC North win. I mean, I'll be pulling for the Steelers.
All right.
We're
going to your picks here.
Yeah,
are you going with the Steelers or the Texans?
I'm going to go with the Texans. I just think that Texans defense is too much.
All right. You know what we now have in common? You also hate Aaron Rodgers now. All right. That's what I like.
Hey, let me tell you how bad the Ravens were against him this year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing the Ravens can't do is get after the quarterback. They were terrible this year, sacking the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers dropped back 81 times against the Ravens this season. They had 2 sacks against him and only touched him 6 times. What's the next game?
Oh my God. It's the only team that can get to the quarterback is the Cleveland Browns because of Myles Garrett. Is that about it? And every other team.
At least put a hand on the guy.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go backwards. Chargers, Patriots. Patriots are a 3.5-point favorite. Will they cover that game?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. So I think they're going to kill the Chargers.
I do too.
Okay. Niners, Eagles. Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite at home. I think Niners are going to win, but then what do you think?
No, I'm riding Niners. I like the Niners in this game. I think the Eagles have struggled mightily for the second half of this season, and I think it catches up with them here in round 1.
I think Sirianni is on drugs for not beating Washington. He would have had the 2 seed. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand. We're resting our starters so that we can get killed by the Niners.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to. All right. This is a good one. A lot of people are texting me that they want to go to this game on I-95 north of here. Jaguars and Bills. Now, this could change with the spread, but right now, Buffalo's a 1.5-point favorite. Who do you like?
I take the Jaguars at home. That place is going to be rocking. It wouldn't shock me to see Buffalo get out early on Jacksonville. Jags, I think, will settle in. I really like how Jacksonville's playing right now. Although that game against Indianapolis was weird.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the Jags at home here. To be a home underdog in the playoffs against a team that's as hot as Jacksonville is,
it's strange. Weird. It is strange. So there was a game, I think early November, where Jacksonville blew a 4th quarter lead to Houston in H-Town. Dude, neither team has lost a game since then. No. Just think about that. One's on an 8-game winning streak. One's on a 9-game winning streak. All right. Okay, you can give me your honest opinion. Packers at Bears, another game.
The Packers are beat up, man. I mean, they just are. Defensively, they're beat up. I mean, yeah, we know about no Micah Parsons, but when they played the Ravens, I mean, they were just bringing that cart out there like, they were teeing off. Like it was a golf cart.
The X factor is they're in the Bears' heads. That's all it is.
I don't think this game is going to be close, Mark. I think this game is going to be similar to, so this rivalry is akin to Ravens-Steelers, right? So last year during the regular season, you said this yourself. You got an offense, right? Last year during the regular season, the Ravens and the Steelers played two really close football games. And then the Ravens just blew them out in the playoffs. That's what I don't think this football game is close. I think your Bears just blow Green Bay right out of the water in this one.
Even if they're up 75-10 in the fourth quarter, I want triple zeros. I want triple zeros. That's what I want. And then Saturday night's good for me because I'm going to need like about 12 hours of sleep emotionally after game. Because the last one almost killed me after a while winning that game. So if they could get through that, like I really mean this. Now, look, we could shoot ourselves in the foot. Double doink could happen again. We could lose the game. If they can just win this game, I think they can make a run. They just got to get psychologically. You got to get through Green Bay, and then who would they host? Who would they host after that? The Niners?
The Niners.
No, wait, whoa. If the Rams win and the Niners win, and it's like Bears Seahawks, it would be Niners at Seahawks because they're the 6th seed. That's this whole. What if Carolina wins, beats the Rams somehow, and they did it in the regular season? What if some crazy happens and that happens?
Well,
yeah. So, are you taking Rams or Panthers?
The Rams.
Do they cover the 10.5 point spread?
Yes.
Okay, they're gonna cry. Puka is gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
and destroy them.
I think the Rams will be just fine.
All right. So you're taking Rams, Bears, Jaguars, Niners, Patriots, and Texans. Those are your picks. That's who you're going with. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to end with this. I got approved to go to the Super Bowl for Radio Row. Mm-hmm. Should I go?
Listen, I think, when do you have to let them know by?
So I got the approval. And then what you got to do is then you got to do that final thing where you put in all your information. They do the background check, make sure you're not part of like some Venezuelan gang, and then you got to make sure you can go. Should I?
That's a long trip and a lot of money, brother.
It's like a 6-hour flight. Yeah. We could go to Europe. I'm not kidding around. I know, but what if there's? All right, I can't say it. I can't.
I'll say it. What if the Bears are playing? Then you have to go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, we'll sell our kidneys. We'll make it happen. His name's Alan Zlotorzynski. All right, we're going to recap next week. It's, again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Football. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later.
See you, buddy.